Hi guys, thanks for joining me. Today I'm going to talk about, or show you actually, the Sleek Creek house in Elder Scrolls Online and what I've done with it. We're looking at it right now and just I wanted to start from the outside so you can see what it typically looks like. We've got this little, well, not little actually. They've got a big tree in there, and it's a typical Khajiit stilt house with the sort of worn terracotta mossy flooring underneath, and then up the stairs to the deck that is just a slat, like kind of worn slat, which is the same flooring that is typically inside the house and also lines the ceiling. That is an open rafter ceiling. And there's where there isn't the floor in there, there's this hard packed dirt and some wild grasses and plants sporadically placed. And the reason I'm pointing that out is because I've made some pretty big changes. Before we head in, I do want to mention that if you play ESO, Sleek Creek House is a great house to purchase. It's one of the classic homes, so it's not too expensive, and it's right outside the town of Ralka in Reaper's March. Ralka is a small enough town that you don't even really need your mount to go through it, but it has pretty much everything that you would need in the way of bank and crafting and all of that. And then a second point, which was my big selling point for buying the house, is that it's right outside an outlaw's refuge. So if you have stolen some things and you need to sell them, or you have a bounty and you need to see a fence, all you have to do is fast travel to your house, go out that door that we see right down there to the left, and boom, there is an outlaw's refuge there. And it's a pretty nice one because it's really fast and easy to navigate. Some of them are kind of mazes. What I've done with this house is, and this is sort of what it looks like kind of before. I mean, they've got this decorated, but this is sort of what it would look like as a regular Khajiit house. I have made it more of a fantasy, magical sort of house. Just that general theme. There's no references to any books or movies or anything like that. And I've drawn elements from all over Tamriel because I didn't want it to reflect any particular area. So let's look at the grounds first. So you can see there's none of the regular dirt visible or the grass. It is completely replaced with coral and these meditation circles, other than the raised areas near the doors. And then um, I put some weird blooms on the walls and made little plantings, a lot of little plantings around. These are more weird bloom flowers and some shrubberies from Cold Harbor, Merkmeyer plants. This is a Telvanni lamp, but I've sort of placed it like it's growing, like it's an organic growth. And then over here under the house itself, I've got a bathing area surrounded by incense burners. I think those are all the incense burners available. I also created a ceiling hanging from um, a, barrel rack. A, yeah, a barrel rack, uh, a bronze or copper plate from uh, Clockwork City, and some more sensors. I've got the tub and whoops, the wall divider back there, and this mirror, which is an antiquity. You can see all these crystals that provide the main lighting. It's they're not real dramatic right now because it's daylight, but they look great in the evening. Over here, I've got another planting, and then a fabricant tree from Clockwork City. And you can see that glass out, that glass kind of crystalline um, formation back there. That is actually what makes what I used to make the bed of this like glow green. Is I had purchased several of those from the achievement vendor in Vardenfell and turned them upside down and mostly submerged them into the bed here. These clouds that you see, these are a couple of celestial nimbus clouds. Sometimes they are more pronounced, sometimes less. They often a little more dramatic looking than they are right now. That was one of the first things that I did, and I love it. We've got another Talvani lamp over here, and then my main tree area where I've got both a fabricant tree from Cold Harbor, or I mean, from Clockwork City, rather, and then I got a regular cherry tree that I made look a little bit more otherworldly by putting some small blue crystal shards in it. Another few plants, some shrubberies that are um, Clockwork City in origin. Same here. Oh, I almost forgot. So this area over here with the flooring that would normally be that light terracotta with the mossy, worn appearance, I replaced with the Alinor worn ballroom floor. Now you may notice, if you're familiar with that floor, that this does not look particularly worn. That is because if you flip it over 180 degrees, you'll see the other side of it is pretty much the same thing, but like new. Um, let's see, I've got a seating area here and another seating area here. And if you have questions about what any of these things are, just let me know in the comments. I'll be happy to answer them, where you can get them, all of that, and how I did everything. Uh, this up here is, well, the deck, of course, but I replaced the flooring with more of the Clockwork City copper, bronze, whatever, metallic panels. I've got a seating area over here that is lit up by a small Sigil globe. Got the Sylvan that flies around and does the annoying Sylvan things. And before we go in, I'm just going to say that I tried several different lights for the outside of the house, and I ended up going with Talvani lanterns, which normally would be upright, but I flipped them up 90 degrees. I did a lot of that. I learned so much about how the furnishing systems work and kind of what you can do with different things. Okay, we're in the house. Quick look around. Just gonna go from left to right here. And then we can talk about some details. The first thing I want to talk about is the envelope of the house. If you can see the floor, the original floor is like the original deck floor, which is this rough wood plank look. This is the Solitude floor um, that's available for purchase, and I actually had to use two of them So the cool thing is anything that you use on the inside of the house does not protrude to the outside. So, you know, that that works great. You can use an oversized floor on the inside of a house and it won't stick out outside the house typically. Um, the walls are mostly the same except for this wall. I used a rug vertically placed carefully and made kind of an accent wall. I originally wanted to do that with all of the walls, but it actually interfered with both the appearance and the function of the door, so I could not do that. There are some limitations to the furnishing system, although I was using it in ways that I don't know if those ways were ever intended. So the ceiling, you can see the normal appearance of that would normally be that it would be that rough wood and it would be peaked because it's open to the rafters. But I used some more of those metallic panels from Clockwork City to create a flat ceiling. That took a bit. There are several up there. And then I used a red guard lantern. I believe that is delicate red guard lantern. And then I suspended it from I think that is the ornate solitude mirror. Okay, so now back to the things in here. We'll zoom in a little bit. This is just a cage. I, I think I think it's orcish, and my little torch bug in it. So you can see that he's actually not trapped. He can get out whenever he wants, but you know, he just likes it in there. One of my favorite things is I actually made two of them, these floating bookshelves. So that's 3 rows of the floating books, and I used you can it's the effect isn't quite as cool so close up, but because you can kind of tell what it is. But that's a picture that I flipped around to kind of just to create a frame. And you know they were pretty realistic with their frames, so it's got the hanging hardware, etc. on the back. Um, let's see. This is my libations table. I spent way more time than you would think arranging this. So, yeah, that's kind of how these things go. You spend time on things that you don't realize that you would spend a whole lot of time on. That's just a little knickknack that I thought was cool, so I set it there. I got a potted plant. Those are from Cold Harbor. I'm not sure if they're available for sale. They came with my house up there. Or, well, not actually house, property. This is, let me back out just a little bit. There we go. This is just the seating area. It's a Breton rug, some throw pillows, a couple of bigger candlesticks, and a or pardon me, sugar pipe. Some food, some drinks, and of course the magic lantern that you use to summon the genie that gets you all the food that you want. And over here, got the main sleeping area. The bed is vampiric. I decided I didn't really like in this application. I didn't like um, the posts. They look so severe. So what I did was I used elixir bottles very carefully placed to soften the look a little bit, and I threw a bunch of pillows through artfully and carefully placed a bunch of pillows on the bed. Um, Also got this halal lamp, which is a really cool piece that you can cycle through the different colors, and the floating because reading in bed is a thing. That's my ghost cat. Pretty cool. This chest is an antiquity piece. I kind of don't feel like it fits. I think I might take it out, but it's here for now. Another Telvanni piece that's a candelabra. This is Syrange. She is an Alfiq. She is the Alfiq that you encounter when you do the Northern Elsewhere quest. And when she became available in the Crown Store, I had to have her, even though I don't have a whole lot. I only have a few of the companions that you can get because one, they're kind of insanely expensive. Like they cost so many crowns. And two, they're not all really fun to interact with, but Serene is because she is a drunk Alfiq mage.
Oh, excuse me, that was a big one. The fizzy drink salt you do that to me. But I like the fizzy drinks. The bubbles tickle my whiskers.
Yeah, she's great. So I have her, that's why I've got her own little area over here. And then we have, just to round things off, we've got a corner with a big house plant and some art, which is actually a tile that's, I think, another achievement thing. And I believe that is a Khajiit thing. So we're going to head back out just so you can see the view. I really kind of love this view. And off in the distance there, that is Rolka. Very easy to get to. So that's pretty much it. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments and I will do my best to answer them. I love the housing system, the furnishing system in ESO, and I've really just started messing with it, so it's kind of great. Thanks again for watching, and talk to you guys later.